In here, we're going to do a couple of things. Saying you're all set now.
Welcome to the Thursday, September 15, 2022, Scituate Zoning Board of Approvals monthly meeting. The Scituate Zoning Board of Appeals is committed to providing an environment of respect during meetings. We ask all members to interact in a polite manner, even when there is disagreement. We value the participation of our community and want all participants, including marginalized and minoritized communities, to feel welcome and respected. We ask our committee members, all who participate, to commit to these standards to support and respect our community. Please note that the Scituate Zoning Board of Appeals will meet in person and have Zoom call-in and participation, Zoom and call-in participation options. Those are available on our website. This meeting is being recorded and will be available to view through a number of outlets, YouTube, et cetera. So first up today, we call the meeting to order. On the application of Captain L. Bonzarzone for 17 Gate Circle, Scituate, Mass. for 5 Williamsburg Lane. We have received a request to continue this to the October 20th, 2022 meeting. I move that we grant the request for continuance. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anthony?
Aye.
All right, so that will be continued to the October 20th, 2022 meeting. Our second application this evening, Joseph Murphy of 159 Pine Street, Quincy, Mass. On request for a special permit finding in accordance with MGL Chapter 40A, Section 6 and Section 810.2A of the Scituate zoning bylaws and or any other relief that the Board of Appeals may grant to allow for the construction of an addition to a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling located at 35 Hathaway Road, Scituate, Mass., which will increase the gross floor area by more than 20%. Do we have the applicant or the applicant's representative here, either in person or online today? So I see Joe Murphy. Mr. Murphy. There you go. He is raising his hand.
Yep, Mr. Murphy, you can unmute yourself just in that bottom left-hand corner. Push that unmute button. Joe Murphy, right, and just put your mouse down to that bottom left-hand corner. You're all connected. If not, I'll send you more. Joe, you should be good. I'll send you another alert.
Yes, it's Joe Murphy. Sorry for the technical delays there. Good evening, board.
Good evening, Mr. Murphy. Can you tell us a little bit about this application?
Yes. Basically, the homeowner, Jen Mosseri, is kind of living in cramped conditions. Family's growing, has a family, and the residence needs to expand. That's her dream to, basically she wants to stay there and she wants to enlarge the house and create a master bedroom. There's not going to be any increase in dwellings or bathrooms. It's just for, additional habitation area. And what we also have, it's important to note, we also are going to have a filing with the Conservation Commission because we have behind the property, there is the potential for some wetland delineation. So what hopefully, if we are successful tonight, we're going to move forward with Concom and engage a wetland scientist and get a delineation behind the site. We're also going to apply for a stormwater permit approval because we are increasing impervious area. So we got to mitigate the additional peak stormwater runoff. So we're going to be going through Concom after in the event we are successful tonight. So you can see the proposed addition on the site plan. It's roughly 524 square feet. We are staying within the rear and side setbacks. And that's pretty much it with the stormwater. We anticipate having some sort of recharge. We're going to engage soil evaluating, get a test pit on site. We actually filed a request for determination of applicability on this property early on to kind of test the waters with the Conservation Commission. And then our strategy was to circle back, attempt to go through the zoning board and then revisit Conservation Commission. So that's the present state of the project.
Thank you. I didn't see the conservation. That's why. It's interesting. Do we have anyone, before I turn to the board, do we have anyone either online or in the audience here that would like to speak on this? No, Janine, do you see anybody online?
There is, I don't know if it's the homeowner, but there is someone with the same last name as the homeowner.
Yeah.
I don't know if they want to speak or.
Does she want to speak or?
Hello,
Hi,
can you hear me?
yes.
I'm
Name?
not very good with the computer.
That's okay.
Yeah, my name is Jen and I bought a house here on Hadley Road after living in Scituate my entire life with my parents graduating high school in 1990. I raised all three of my kids here on 35 Hadley Road. And I just, I'm very tall. My youngest son is now 6'7", 250. Massachusetts Maritime. We've literally outgrown the house, and I don't want to move. I don't have the money to move. I can't afford it. I don't want to ever leave Scituate. But if I could just get a small bedroom on the back of the house to, let us spread out a little bit, that's all I want. I mean, the thought of taking my kids and leaving here it's too much. I'm devastated. But I can't sell it and upgrade because, my house is only worth so much. But I don't know. We're just a nice family. I do a lot of fundraising for the community with my comedy, and I've got a big show tomorrow night for Rosie and Jim Lomborg. And I'm not trying to sell myself. I'm just saying we don't want to leave, but we don't fit in the house. We literally don't fit in the house. I've got a picture on Facebook of my son, who's 6'7", who doesn't fit. And I don't know. I've got wonderful neighbors, and I've lived here my whole life, and I just want, just a little bedroom off the back so we can kind of move around a little bit. That's my plea.
We understand. Thank you very much. Let us see if anybody else has any questions. I just wanted to ask Mr. Murphy, just to confirm, obviously the lot area is changing, the frontage is not changing. Obviously the frontage is not changing. There is no change to the front setback. The side setback is going from 8.7 to 8 feet. And because of a little bit of a sort of bump out, if you will, of the extension. And then the rear setback is going from 31.4 feet to 21.2 feet. Is that correct? Just to confirm.
I'm on the side setback. I'm seeing 8-0 at that.
That's what I said, yeah.
Okay, thank you. I confirm that. And the other two dimensions are good as well, sir. I confirm those dimensions.
I want to make sure both of those which are within the required setbacks. I'll turn to the board. Any questions from the board?
Similar to the last one that we saw with stormwater, don't we need more information before?
Well, this will be contingent, right, the approval, we can do the approval contingent on Conservation Commission and any required stormwater permit, right?
Yeah.
And if there needs to be an amendment to this plan, I would think that you would need to come back to us if there are any
So
changes to the dimensions of the building.
yeah, so George, just to speak to the board's past experience, we don't even need to note typically in a special permit that it's contingent on
Right.
other permits, because they really are, they're separate. There's certain relief they need from the board that is not contingent on a stormwater permit their building permit with Bob's office would be contingent on any other relief that they need. So typically, we don't get into that list in our permits or in our relief. As to your second point, I would agree. To the extent their review with Concom or anyone else requires a change, they would often have to come back, though foreseeing that, the board has often said, well, really, as long as you're keeping any additions within a building envelope, maybe we say now that they don't have to come back to help pave the way.
Fair enough. We have a motion. Any other questions?
George? Couple of comments.
Sorry.
Apologies. Certainly, the building part of this is very straightforward and easily acceptable, I'm sure, to the board. I had a couple of questions which might actually help the process. I'm wondering if you do need a stormwater permit, counted as impervious, and I don't, it's lightly drawn on the plan, but a gravel driveway is counted as impervious area, unless it's an engineered gravel driveway meeting specs for a pervious pavement surface. I think if you recalculated all of the existing impervious, you might find out that you're not increasing it by more than 25%, and therefore you would not need a stormwater permit. So I suggest that, might be a decent exercise to try at least and see what happens. The other thing I would say is right now you've shown a plan that has one off-street parking space. Depending on the number of cars in your family projected and present, that's likely not going to be enough. There's no on-street parking in this neighborhood. So you might want to reconsider that. Additionally, if you do go through the sidewalk and create a new curb cut through the granite curbing here, it's going to have to be coordinated and permitted by the DPW and repaired to town DPW specifications. So again, that's a consideration. I think might want to be thought about. That's all I've got.
Thanks, Bob. Much appreciated. Any other questions or comments? Motions? I will move that an applicant's request for a special permit, finding in accordance with NGL Chapter 40A, Section 6, and Section 810.2A of the Scituate zoning bylaw, and any other relief that the Board of Appeals may grant, that we find that the proposed building addition on the site plan dated July 18th, 2022 by Joe Murphy, professional engineer for 35 Hadley Road, creates no new nonconformities, and to the extent that it does create new nonconformities, those new nonconformities are not substantially detrimental to the neighborhood. And that we approve the special permit both as it is on the plan and in the event that the applicants need to make modifications to the plan in light of the further permitting, that any modifications that do not change the building envelope as proposed on the site plan also be approved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 The ayes have it. This is approved. Thank you. So on our Who wants this one?
I'll take it.
Okay. So it's pretty straightforward, just change. All right, on our final application of the evening, of Paul Dowd, 15 Seagate Circle, requesting a special permit finding in accordance with MGL 48, Section 6, and Sections 810.2 and 470.6F of the Scituate zoning bylaw and/or any other relief that the Board of Appeals may grant to allow for the construction of an addition to a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling at 15 Seagate Circle, Scituate, Mass, wherein that addition will increase the gross floor area by more than 20%. Do we have anybody on that application? Sir. Okay, well, please name and address for the
Sure.
record, please.
Paul Dowd, 15 Seagate Circle, Scituate, Massachusetts.
Dowd, welcome. Tell us a little bit about this proposal.
Well, I bought the house a couple years ago. I moved from a bigger home with my children who were, they were only gone enough. So it's just me and my dog pretty much. And we moved out of a 3,000 square foot home with a basement, an attic, a garage, shed, to a little less than 1,200 square foot home on Scituate with almost no storage or room for anything.
Right. Understood.
So it doesn't even have a laundry room in it. So I've used one of the bedrooms as an office,
Right.
which might at some point become a laundry room. And I'm just looking to put on an addition that'll give me a proper master bedroom, bath, and closet. My understanding is that there's no infringements on the setbacks, but it's an existing non-conforming. I am increasing it by greater than 20%. We've done all the proper, I think, engineering, surveying, and architectural work, as well as drawing. That just illustrate what we're doing with the house, which is simply expanding the first floor a little bit and then putting a second floor that contains the master.
And the expansion on the first floor is over an existing open deck, but within what would otherwise be the overall building envelope, is that right? Correct? Okay. Thank you for that. Any questions from the audience? No? Bob? Don't forget you this time. Do you have any comments on this?
No, I assume the new construction is gonna be at the elevation of the floor, which the building already having been raised, I believe under the FEMA grant program originally, meets all of the FEMA requirements for this flood zone. Seems fine to me.
Any questions from anybody online? No, somebody online. From the board?
I don't know what it is, it's straightforward.
Yeah, it's within the envelope, it's,
Yeah, it's just the 87%.
right, and it's within the box. Justin?
No, I'm good, pretty straightforward.
Okay. There was nobody
There's no one
online,
online, right?
and-
No one's here.
and no one's here. So, Anthony, you good? He's good. All right, so, on the application of Paul Dowd, 15 Seagate Circle, Scituate, Mass, requesting a special permit finding in accordance with MGL Chapter 48, Section 6, and Section 810.2 and 470.6F of the Scituate zoning bylaw, and/or other any relief the board of appeals may grant, to allow the construction of an addition to pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling located at Seagate Circle, Scituate, Mass. I move that we find the site plan for 15 Seagate Circle on the plan dated August 9th, 2022 by Ross Engineering. Creates no new nonconformities, and to the extent that it does create any nonconformities, the it is not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood, and that we grant special permit.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carry that. You guys have it. Thank you. All right. Other business this evening, we have some minutes to approve.
Please.
We have the approval of, what are the dates on our minutes? Because
It was the July meeting, the August regular meeting, and the August continuance, the 40B meeting.
So I can speak as to the July meeting and I believe I was here for the 40B continuance, right? Because we didn't hear that. So I can approve the minutes as to both of those meetings.
I can do all three.
All three?
I can only do the two, I was not here for the continuance of the item.
Okay. Anthony, so you have approvals as to those?
Although I was here for that, were you? I was here for that, so I can go for it.
All right. Anthony, minutes approved?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as circulated by Gene.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those
I
in,
can do all
all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, I just wanted that on the record. With that, having no other business this evening, Anthony.
Did you guys steal those chairs from the Starship Enterprise?
Yes. They all come with a free Xbox.
Yeah.
Not bad.
If you were here, you could play.
Wait, you didn't donate these as part of your departure?
If you're impending departure. All right.
Also have built-in heat and air conditioning.
Yeah.
Not bad.
With that, I move that we adjourn the meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Meeting so adjourned.
Wow.